Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live on a Wednesday, November 10th at 1:03 p.m. I'm a little late to the party today. Had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm happy to get here to talk to everyone about a couple of things that people posted on Twitter. People posted they wanted me to talk about Keeper, KP3R. Um, and this was the other topic that caught my fancy. People thinking about exits. When to exit the market. Is it 2018, 2019? I want to sell the top. Is Bitcoin going any higher? Am I going to lose my money? We've talked about these topics before, but I always like to talk about them again. As I've gotten older thinking of these markets, I think about them very differently. Sell for what? What are you selling for? You're going to sell for dollars, hoping that the price of assets go down. So you're basically shorting an asset. You're buying a dollar, waiting for the price of an asset to go down to rebuy the asset at a lower price. Are you factoring in capital gains? You're not factoring in the work required to watch the price of the asset, the stress, the frustration. Factoring in the timing. Did you sell the top? Oh, damn it, I missed the top. I didn't sell the top. Ah, I missed the bottom. I didn't buy the bottom. It's so frustrating. Oh, the fear and the doubt. When to sell, when to buy. Oh, that's so the dollar denominated number goes up. Drive you nuts. It will. I say that because it drove me nuts. 2015 is very difficult. 2019 is very, very difficult. 2021, 2022 will not be difficult for me. I have a very different outlook on the way this shit works. And I want to, on one hand, I want to do what Warren Buffett does. I have a couple of friends and colleagues that are in a good position. They made so much damn money, like mid eight figures, halfway to nine, let's say, like a 50 mil. And you could put around 20 mil or so in cash, and 30 mil still very productive. Very productive. And you wait for a deflationary implosion. That's great. What's the time horizon? We have no idea what the time horizon is for a deflationary implosion. We just had one in March 2020. Will the Evergrande bankruptcy ripple throughout the global markets, causing a deflationary crash? The stock market. Let's go over to the charts. Let's pop it over to the main screen. This is actually Bitcoin denominated in SHIB. Fuck that. What lunacy. Is the stock market finally going to crash? Let's look at the. So this is the SPX going back to 1872 on the yearly chart. Can we do longer than a year? Month. 24? Will it let me do? It won't let me do 24 months. That's unfortunate. I mean, you can't. It's basically zero back in the day. I mean, that's how lunacy. That's how crazy the SPX has got it. Okay, so the point is, what does this look like? Let's take a look at something. Where is it? Here, trading economics. No, that's not what I want. What's the Caracas stock market? Yeah, it's the IBVC. Oh, thanks, Bloomberg. The point being, Caracas stock market straight up as well. It looks exactly like this insanity. Yeah, Luke Groman says it's different this time. It's not different this time. It's the same. It's the same as what? It's the same as what everyone thinks it's the same as. It's the same as, yeah, you might have a deflationary implosion, but then Luke Groman reminds us that 130% debt to GDP, they're only going to have one option. is to intervene in the markets to maintain its functionality. Normal market function. Because all those politicians that are 60 and 70 want to keep their jobs. And if we have a crash, they're not doing their job, and the whole political system falls apart as well. Everyone loses their jobs. And that's the great revolution that that was talked about during Weimar, that Havenstein was dealing with. He didn't want to be on call when the revolution happened, because if you have the big crash, if you have a deflationary implosion, there goes the whole political scene. The economy turns into a catastrophe. There goes entitlement spending. There goes Social Security, Medicare and Medicaid, of course. There goes your war budget. There goes the military. They don't get their checks. There goes paying the debt, paying the bill on treasuries. Stock markets have become a matter of national security, meaning not even the stock market, literally just number go up. Economics, just managing the number, making sure it's still functioning. So, how do we wrap this all into a nice, shiny little bow? Evergrande bankruptcy, when to exit the markets. If you want to waste your time and frustrate yourself, you can try and time the markets at the top, sell, buy a bottom, or you could just focus on how to navigate the markets, how to navigate them, not buying and selling at opportune times. But then this goes into what we always talk about and our ideology of revenue streams. So accumulate cash flow, accumulate revenue streams. So we started off talking about crashing. We talked about why it's not different this time. It's going to crash. We know it's going to crash. We know they're going to intervene because every politician wants to keep their jobs and Social Security checks need to go out. Otherwise, we have a humanitarian crisis. So why is everyone worried about a crash? And that was my Twitter comment. What is a crash? Because we've talked about this topic before. What the fuck is a crash? A crash is a period of uncertainty. And frankly, a crash is really an irrational period where people that have no capacity whatsoever to navigate the markets are basically just doing the worst thing possible. They're basically selling. They're selling their stuff. Well, then again, this is just a distorted chart because this is a useless asset class. It's not productive at all. It doesn't pay anyone anything. There's no cash flow at all that's meaningful. Dare we say positive in real terms, inflation considered. So the market participants are completely skewed compared to what we deal with in the crypto space. And even the people operating in the crypto space are irrational as well. You can imagine most people in the crypto space are operating under the same paradigm of buy low, sell high, and they don't know their ass from their elbow. And if they made $5 million, they have no idea what the fuck to do with it. And little did they know that $1 million a year could generate $250,000 a year in relatively risk considerate income, having to do no work, go to a tropical island, sit back and relax. No, they don't know shit. What are they going to do with the $1 million? So the point is, if they see that $1 million and Bitcoin is crashing, they're gonna panic sell the bottom. Panic sell the bottom. When to exit markets. I guess I titled the stream this because these are the most silly things to think about. Like if you want to do well in these markets, people trying to find the top or when should I exit, and they're fearful of the markets. These are literally the last things that are even relevant. They literally, folks are obsessed with the least relevant things to manage their money. Finding the top means nothing in managing your money optimally and effectively. Because in order to manage your money optimally, you have to alleviate anxiety and frustration. Not going to manage shit well if you're frustrated or fearful. Clearly, it's pretty emotional if you bought at 3.8 cents and you're down at 2.4. Well, what if it's 5 cents in the coming months? So what would have been the appropriate thing to do? The appropriate thing would have been position size, which means you missed the boat on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x on the money. Or maybe you didn't. We talk about 1% to 10% of the portfolio quite often. So if you get a 10x on a heck of an asset, you're allocating value towards Daniel and Sifu and the other folks that are building, and Merlin that are building the protocol. So bet on them. And if you get a 10x now, folks down at the bottom got 100x, 200x. But you still got a 10x, and you're allocating capital to the narrative. I would say this is a great entry. Just watch your damn position size. You can't put 20, 30% of your portfolio into a position. You're going to get hammered. And then you're going to get emotional. And then you're going to make mistakes. I haven't gotten to any comments yet. I'm going to hit all your comments. You got to watch your position sizes, especially this late in the market cycle. Everything is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x on the money. And you're putting in money at the top? I don't think it's the top, but that's a hell of a top right there. For the last 8 days, it's been down. Oh, you don't want to buy the tops. You don't want to be a bag holder. But you know what? Then like you could also say you might not want to buy the tops, but there's nothing wrong with buying the top if you get the damn position size right. If you put 1% or a half a percent of your portfolio and you bought at 3.8 cents, you have a 100 grand portfolio and you put $1,000, and if you're down to like 800 bucks, $700, are you really that upset? If you have a $100,000 portfolio and you lost 300 bucks on spell going from 3.8 cents to 2.4 cents, you're down $300. Oh, the pain, the pain. And then in a year's time, it's at 50 cents, 30 cents, 10x on the money, and you got 10 grand. And then in a year's time, it's at $1. Spell to $1. Why is that not possible? Of course that's possible. The dollar just needs to debase further, and Bitcoin just needs to provide more market cap and room in the ecosystem. Ethereum also needs to go up higher, so there's nothing wrong with the whole spell to $1. I like that. It's just that there needs to be more room in the system. So if you buy $1,000 worth of spell at 3 cents and it goes to $1, what are you making? 30x on your money? $30,000? If you turn $1,000 into $30,000, damn, bro. Too many folks are out there trying to make $1 million, trying to make millions, and they end up losing everything. The hardest thing to do in this game is to remain rational. Hardest thing. Anyway, I literally haven't talked to any comments. Let's do some. Larry's in the house. You were early. Dan, good afternoon. Quantify. Keeper is ripping. Keeper is very interesting. Keeper, the narrative is what? Is Andre. That's it. That's the narrative. Andre has started building good parts of DeFi back in 2020. And his mind has built something yet again. And it's not new. Keeper's been in the works for quite a while. I bought a bunch of Keeper. I bought like 50 Keeper at like 30 grand worth. And went down to like 15 grand. Could you imagine? I got the position size right. I didn't mind the 15 grand dip. And now it's at 60 something thousand dollars. Let's see what it's at. Let's see what it's at. 66 grand, 62 grand. Great, lovely. Cool. Keeper. Let's see how Andre follows through with his latest creation that's months in the work. It's not even like it's brand new. Folks acting like it's brand new because now it's going up. People only look at things when it's going up. Alexander's in the house. A pleasure, Professor J. Hey, Captain's in the house. Hunter, good afternoon. Crypto T.O. Hola, buena tarde. Food Bear, sorry, got to watch on replay. Kyle, Rittenhouse trial is off the chain today. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Prosecutors getting renamed by the judge. Repeated. That's funny. And also disturbing. Everything about that is an unfortunate case. Martin, what's up, Noah? Pleasure. Dan, any thoughts on the ENS airdrop? I would like to renew a domain name, an ENS name. That's just very expensive right now, so I don't know what to do. I wouldn't. There's not much unless you're going to claim like 20 grand worth of ENS. I'm not touching it because I'm not gonna spend $500,000 to get out of a $5,000 airdrop. So personally, there's a fair amount of cost operating on Ethereum mainnet, and I'm not going to do much for a one, two, three, four, $5,000 airdrop, even if that's what they airdropped. Why does the supply of MIM and Popsicle need to be controlled slowly? To mitigate risk, and I believe they are being very prudent. I would love for a little bit more transparency, but I'm not disappointed in the way I see things being executed. Um, I tend to be optimistic about the way they're behaving and executing on their vision, and they're developing their software. Is their software in the end? We could all squabble and converse and debate degrees of decentralization all you want. Someone wrote code. It's their protocol, and something before it's decentralized at some point is centralized and achieves different degrees of decentralization over time. Anyway, I like what I see from the team. Vince, sorry if this was touched on, but have you seen Keeper lately gaining serious momentum? Well, yeah, I bought Keeper months ago. And seeing it lately, yay! I finally made my money back. So I mentioned I bought like 30 grand worth of Keeper, went down to like 15, give or take, and now it's back up at about 60 grand. Yay! I made 100% of the money. Lovely. Um, I look forward to the yield. I think I have like 700 bucks worth of fixed forex sitting around. 55. Oh, 500 bucks. 431 euros. Yay. All right, let the money keep on coming in. I put a 4-year lock on this bad boy. Crip guy, good morning. Talman, I'm making pancakes for dinner. You great company, Noah. Pancakes is good stuff. I love them myself. Enjoy the pancakes. Nife, do you ever look at funding rates or leverage in the system to shift portfolio? I haven't made a transaction, I think, in a week. I buy productive assets. When I make a transaction, I'm purchasing something that pays me. The last thing I purchased that pays me is Geist. I'll show you guys. I had cash flow from Curve, obviously. I bought it at $1.06, so this thing is down about 5 grand, 6 grand, give or take, $5,500. This is the day and a half. This is a day and a half, guys. Like at 5 p.m. today is 2 days. So I was pulling in about $400 a day, give or take. $400 a day, 795% interest. I'm down about 5 grand. That was my last deploy. So I wasn't looking at funding rates. I purchased something that's producing 795% return on the money. I'm not going to compound at the moment, albeit it is Phantom, so it's pretty much dirt cheap to compound. 795% is something like 100,000% APY. So it's not the worst thing to compound. 100,000% APY. I don't really give a shit if this is down 5 grand. I expect this to get hammered more. Maybe I'll buy more at around 40 cents if it gets hammered that far. Just it's like doubling down on the Geist position. But I think it bottoms. It's bottoms at some point. It's like Curve. It's a hyperinflationary asset until it reaches equilibrium, where it's all been sold. The price is so low that no one wants to sell it anymore, and they want to buy a large position to capitalize on the returns. This will hyperinflate until the cost benefit analysis leaves the majority believing that the APR outweighs the benefit of selling it. That's the way that works. JJ's in the house. A pleasure. Benjamin. Hey, Noah. Oop, it moved. My comments moved. Hey, Noah. You've been able to do live for a couple of months, dropping in to say hi. Continue to listen to every stream. It's a pleasure, my friend. Hope all is well. Raul. Hello. Dan. I missed the boat on Keeper, waiting for market dip or just DCA, and I think there's more important things. I'm more interested in Ampleforth right about now. I want to see this thing turn negative. I want to see negative rebasing. I want to see how the money market responds during a period of negative rebasing. 18 mil, because obviously we've had meaningful depreciation. SPX, AMPL, AMPO, FTX. Let's look at the 4-hour. Really? Okay. Come on. There we go. There we go, baby. Well, some wicks down to $1.18, but it's currently sitting at $1.20. I'd like to see it get down to 90 cents. Maybe if they could push it down to 70 cents. That'd be like it was about $40,000 nominal. Kind of trivial. When you expect there to the negative rebase to be appreciative, and I want to see the negative rebase speculatively have an associated 100% utilization. That's what I speculate. I speculate we'll see 100% utilization. Here, there's a good example. 752% yield, 186,000% interest. So if you go back to Geist, so you're talking about 200,000% interest here, APY. This is APR, APY. If you compound daily, you're getting a shitload of money. So if you put in 20 grand and it goes to 10 grand, whoopee frickin' do. Do you know how much 200,000% APY is on 10 grand? That's a lot of money. So I think it's kind of short-sighted. I don't know if I wanted to get in on Blizz because it was at like $4. Now it's at $1.60. You're talking about a 75% hit. Here, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up getting a 75% haircut for Geist as well. And I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Maybe I should have had a little bit more patience. I wish I bought it lower. I bought a $1.06. It's going to go lower. It's hyperinflating. Yeah, I buy more at around 40 cents. I'll save up another 20 chip on Curve. Use cash flow to buy this appreciating asset or this revenue producing asset. 13% down. It's barely live for a month, but it was $3 down to less than it's minus $97 since its launch. It launched much higher than the chart shows, but I like this. I actually like this asset. The whole question is, how do you play it? You play this type of asset with patience because it's hyperinflating. And this reminds me of the Curve launch, which is a hyperinflationary launch. Here, go over to Curve. We'll take a look real quick. Obviously, we'd have no idea what the heck Geist is, given that Aave never really had a revenue share component, and that's why Geist is novel in that regard. But this was a hyperinflationary collapse for Curve. So, let's see what happens. It started out at $30. Let's watch it go to 30 cents. Let's watch it go to 30 cents. 25 cents. 25 cents for a revenue share on a product that has $3 billion in capital. $3 billion in capital. Well, maybe I won't speculate a 40 chip. So I got 22 chip in there right now. Maybe the 22 chip is enough. I mean, why am I being greedy? How about this? Food for thought. Food for thought. If I just showed you 795% APR, and if I compound once a day, you're talking about 180,000%. That's 1,860 times on the money. 860. Oh, what is that? $18 million? If the numbers were fixed today, this would produce this position, and I compounded once a day. The total position size would be $18 million in 1 year's time. That's what 795% interest is. The hardest thing people have in navigating these markets is time, or digesting time. They see this and they see $752 every 2 days or whatever. Most people don't really appreciate this for what it is. And that's why I'm really liking this position. I'm very hopeful that the utilization remains 100%. The utilization remains 100%. It means that there's capital flow, and capital flow is being capitalized upon. People are speculating on price rise, price decrease, and they're trading. And that allows people to make some significant gains. People, you turn 100 grand into 10, 20, $30 million. And that's why they do that speculation on price appreciation and depreciation. And by doing so with an asset that has very predictable directionality, because a positive rebase is deflationary with regard to price, or depreciative, and a negative rebase is appreciative. So you have basically long and short predictability in many regards. That very much encourages 100% utilization. So obviously, when we have positive rebase territory, you got 100% utilization. It's a guaranteed long position for 2 to 6%, let's say, guaranteed. And then if we have 100% utilization during negative rebase periods where folks are speculating either by a long or short position, I don't give a shit which one, let them do what they want to do, then you have a pretty constant 87,000% APY or 677% APR, which turns my position into a very, very, very large position over the course of a year. Time. I've watched $130,000 turn into $80,000. I've watched 59,000 Ample turn into 69,000 Ample. The price action is misleading. It's a red herring. Why? Why is it a red herring? Because the quantity of Ample I have is up. And this isn't a normal asset. I'm digressing, obviously. We started off a great topic talking about when the fuck to sell everything. And then we talked about a little bit about Keeper, a little bit about Geist, and now we're on to Ampleforth. This might be one of the most fascinating assets because it operates in a range. Historically never got below 50 cents. How fascinating. The contraction that occurs down here is immense. Circulating supply evaporates into nothingness where even a little entry sucks up available liquidity, triggering relatively large appreciation. And that's the whole point. The whole point is if the price goes down, it's designed to go up. If the price goes up, it's designed to go down. Which basically means the price went down, it's designed to go back up. So it's what I've written on Twitter, there's transitory periods of opportune liquidation. Very predictable transitory periods. Circulating supply will be cut a huge amount during periods of negative rebase that will drive the price of the asset back up. Now, it may be opportune time once a year. We'll see what kind of derivatives evolve. But we sure as hell just had an opportune time for liquidation. Up at $2, down at $1.29, almost a 40% decline. Dollar will be 50 less. 30%, 30% and change. 70, 40, 35% decline. Um, so time. So people see the 22,000 I deployed and it's down to 16,000. Time, 795, almost 200,000% APY if I compound daily. Time, 120,000 deployed is down to 88, up 10,000 units of ample. Time, 85,000. Let's see what came into the market real quick. 11,000, 8,000, 18 mil. It looks like supply just came into the market. It looks like total borrowed didn't go down. It looks like total borrowed just went up. Quite fascinating. I'm going to leave this up. I bet you this gets taken really quickly. And you'll see it. You'll see it in real time. This will go to zero or close to zero. And, let me answer some questions. Um, have you ever used debt to buy assets or just farm with stables? Have we used debt? Yes, we did Polygon. Polygon was a pure debt-driven play. We used debt we farmed the stables. Fine. We didn't use debt to buy assets. I currently have one debt position. I used Spell to borrow MIM to buy a CVX position. CVX has been doing all right. I'm about up 120 or so percent. Hey, look at that ample 100% utilization. Would you look at that, boys and girls? Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that fascinating? Can you imagine 87,000% yield? Do you realize that's 870 times on the money? Calculator. 88,000, give or take, current price point, times 870. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 76 mil. I'm telling you guys, that's just math right now. At 88 cents, if there's 100% utilization on this position, $88,000, the position will be worth $76 million in 1 year's time if there's 100% utilization and the price point remains the same. If the price point doubles, it'll be worth $140 million. So, time horizon. I'm sure this is an unknown that I'm not expecting, but I don't really mind the uncertainty considering the potential gains that are possible. David O's in the house. It's a pleasure. I do think about these markets a little different. John, Dan says regarding airdrops in general, though, if they're unproductive assets, do you sell them? Well, EPS I sell. That's about it. But it's only a couple of grand a week. But I sell it on Pancake Swap, and it goes over from Binance. It's just basically like a free couple $1,000 a week. Novatron, new student here. Thanks for sharing. It's a pleasure. I hope it helps, guys. Dan, man, waiting. Wait, we're doing the Evergrande thing again? I think they just went bankrupt. Bankrupt. Yeah, they officially default. Oh, they defaulted on their obligations. No, whether the market's priced it in or not, I don't know. Um, is it the 4 hour? Yeah, that looks so much like a top. We'll see. Yeah, we are doing the Evergrande thing again. Let's zoom out a little bit for some perspective. This is March 2020. Oh, it's a horrible dip we have. Everyone thought it was going to not go higher, but it broke out to new higher highs. And let's see. Maybe we get a resistance, flip support, horizontal line. I mean, dare it do that? Oh, everyone, all the bears are going to be like, what the fuck? But there's your resistance, flip support, higher high. I don't know. I would never play these types of assets. Look at this stupid chart on assets that give you no money. These assets don't pay you shit. Gilotron. Oh, I lost your comment. Gilotron. Noah, have you seen Snowbank on AVAX? Yeah, no interest. I have. DJ Slith, did you qualify for the Blizz airdrop? I did not. I was late. In fact, I like it that way because I wish I actually waited a little bit longer to buy Geist. I think it's going to go down further, and maybe if I had enough patience, I would have bought it at 50 cents. It's going to go down further, and you want to buy the bottom on something like this. Let's crank it out. Revenue stream. Look at this. DAI, Ethereum, FTM. That's so cool. That's so cool. That asset pays you. And to top it all off, they're giving you more Geist that I could compound? Getting paid 795%? This is like 200,000% APY if I compound it. This is a big deal, but I mean, you put in 10, expect it to go to 5, expect it to go to $4,000. And if you did a $4,000 compounded at 200,000% APY, that's going to be some shit at the end of the year. So the biggest problem people have is time, processing time. Thoyo, hola Noah, ¿qué tal? Buena tarde. When you buy Ampleforth and FTX, there's a rebase. Well, if you buy FTX and you're buying, are you buying perps, perpetual swaps? If you are, no, it sure as heck is not going to rebase. You have to own spot, and I don't know if their software holds spot if you're buying it spot on their exchange. So probably not. It probably doesn't rebase. I have no idea what it does. I don't know. I wouldn't buy anything on a centralized exchange. That's just me. Ninja Sauce, how do you feel about Geist Blizz model versus something like Aave? I like revenue share. I think Aave is going after corporate. Aave is doing the 1 inch play. They're doing the Uniswap play. Aave is going big corporate banking, regulated, all that fancy shit. Let them do what they want to do. No biggie, no qualm with me. I like. I'm actually liking Geist. If they end up pulling off a legitimate fork, their the multi-sig seems like it has decent characters. I don't know. I haven't looked into the software, so I sized the position accordingly. That it's not too much to worry about at all in most regards. It's a fraction of a percent of the portfolio. Um, but speculatively, the parameters associated with the position are quite favorable, especially over a decent time horizon. Folks expect to see 800% yield, and they're getting, thousands of dollars a day. Where's the millions come from? Time. 800% compounded daily is worth a fortune. You don't need large positions. Crypto Henry, regarding Geist, is there a formula to calculate the equilibrium price of the hyperinflationary asset where prices to? No, this is a good question. For me, I follow a lot of gut instinct. So, look, I bought at a $1.06. Am I hesitating for a second? No. Am I contemplating locking more? Yes. Do I hope to lock more at 50 cents? Oh, yes. 50 cents at 800%, I'll have twice the guy's position, which means twice the revenue stream. Actually, the same revenue stream because it's 793% on the current locked value of Geist. Probably dollar denominated, speculatively. Point being, I hope it goes further. I hope people sell it because I'm going to buy the shit that they sell. Embassard for Lock Geist, you can add the stake APR on top of that if I'm correct. Get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here. There's no way I'm making 1,000% of the money. Platform fees, no lockup period. Speculatively, Embassard. Speculatively. Benassi, what could cause an Ampleforth price to go below 50-cent historic? Unknown, just probably a deflationary impulse, a strong one at that. But whatever, you'll have negative rebases that are massive, and that'll be a price appreciative because it's designed to be in that range. Zach, did you check out Agoric as a developer? This is the Cosmos Tendermint chain with native JavaScript smart contracts. Very interesting DeFi JS module. Very interesting. I'm not up to speed with what you're describing, but JavaScript smart contracts at minimum sound interesting because there's a massive JavaScript development community, and you guys know what I think about Cosmos and Tendermint stuff. I don't know about the software of choice, the software language of choice. It is what it is, but I have high opinion of Cosmos. Zach has a native stablecoin similar to Terra. Ah, well, if you must know, Terra is, I believe, a Cosmos hub. Very interesting. DJ Slith, did you immediately sell your Blizz airdrop? No, I did not get a Blizz airdrop because I bought my Geist at $1.06. I didn't buy it before the other day. In fact, I wish I bought it today, which means I wouldn't have gotten a Blizz airdrop in any case. Vasco, can you suggest good cash flow strategy? No, unfortunately, I cannot because cash flow strategy is something that's very personal. You'll never know when it's best to sell or to buy. You'll only know in hindsight whether you make it a good or bad choice. So you have to get your own feel. Good cash flow strategy. Accumulate assets that pay you. Assets better pay you a fair amount of money to hold them. If an asset isn't paying you a lot of money to hold it, you have opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means you're not making as much money as possible. I've said many a times, I will not make as much money as possible. I do take on a fair amount of opportunity cost. There is a limit to the amount of opportunity cost I will take on, which is why I don't hold Bitcoin because it has a shitload of opportunity cost. Albeit, on the other hand, if I had a huge amount of capital, would I carve out a chunk for things such as Bitcoin and Ethereum that have a huge amount of stagnant equity? It's relatively stagnant. Considering the opportunity cost? Yes, indeed, I would. So choices and options are very much dependent on portfolio size, risk tolerance, cash flow desires and intentions, portfolio management requirements / complexity. You want to keep this shit simple because it's hard to manage. Goes hand in hand with never go all in, never spread too thin. You spread too thin, you're never going to be able to manage it. You go all in and you're potentially missing out. So it's a very broad question. Can you suggest a good cash flow strategy? If anything, I could suggest things to only make the choices more complicated. But I guarantee you this, if you listen to me on a daily basis in 4 years' time, pretty sure you'll have some opinions about choices and options that folks can take to manage their capital. That's the deal. What's the personal minimum amount you trade on Ethereum due to gas fees? A couple of grand, 3, 4, 5, 10 grand transactions, give or take. Ethereum L1, you're operating in the 3, 4, 5, 10 grand transaction range at minimum. Otherwise, you might as well be operating on Phantom. Look, I operate on Phantom. It's easy to operate on Phantom. I just threw some USDT over, and I bought a bunch of Geist. I got a bunch of other stuff. I had a bunch of InSpirit as well. Oops, switch. I got InSpirit. I got some Phantom stuff. I'm going to stick away from Blizz. I'll buy Blizz, I'm going to buy this. But when? When am I going to buy this? What are we at? 4,000% yield? I'll buy this when it's 30 cents. 30 cents and 800% yield. Then you got a deal, Blizz. 30 cents, 800% yield. You're at $1.63. I'm going to wait for this shit to go to 30 cents. How can you withdraw your Ample if it's at 100% utilization? You go over to Mooney Swap. You press the trade button. You trade your Ample for your Ample for Ample. So that's how you exit. I could exit. I'll take a 5.5% hit to exit, but that's besides the point. Where's the market at? $3.5 million worth of liquidity. Looks like there's about a 10% slippage. You get a 10% bonus, boys and girls. If you buy a Ample with Ample, you're getting a 10.5% bonus. 40% increase in liquidity over the last 24 hours. Transaction volume has decreased significantly, no doubt. 16 minutes ago, last transaction. See, look, so how do you exit Ethereum? How do you exit Aave Ample deposit? Well, ask this guy because he had a $75,000 deposit on Aave and exited his position. That's how you exit. Thoyo, you're welcome. Garner, Mo, team behind Geist. I haven't done my due diligence, so I position sized accordingly. It's okay to take a risk as long as your position size is appropriate. I didn't put in 20% of the portfolio. Just saying. I don't have time for that. Just don't have time. Critical mass. I can't wrap my head around Ample. So if I put in 5,000 in a year's time, it would be 900,000. 900, 870, 5,000. 5,000 times 870. No, if you put in $5,000 in a year's time, it'd be worth $4.35 million. Critical mass. If and only if utilization remains at 100%, which retains 87,639% yield, and then yes, $5,000 will be worth $4.35 million. That's how it works, critical mass. But if utilization drops to less than 100%, that means you will be exposed to negative rebases. Negative rebases are capital destructive and will significantly affect the amount of capital you make over the following months because it's not just decreasing price, which is temporary, it's decreasing the actual quantity of assets you own. You're literally taking a haircut without selling. That's the way Ampleforth works. Fascinating what they did. It's a very obvious way they executed in the smart contract. It makes sense. So you were a little off. It's not 900 grand. It's a couple $1,000,000. That's the way it works, critical mass, and that's the power of compounding yield. And this is even more. This is a lot more. It's about 200,000% APY. That's 2,000 times on the money. If this holds at its current price, 16,500 times 2,000% of the money, was that $33 million? If this stays at, let's say 200,000% APY, and 793, and I compound daily, or let's say on average it's 200,000% APY, and let's say Geist stays at 81 cents or goes up, then this is worth $33 million in 1 year's time. That's the way time and compounding work. That's why Einstein said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. And this is also why most people fuck up managing their money because they can't process time. There's fear, emotion, and anxiety involved. And they end up selling at the worst possible time. Umberto, would you recommend to take out the money from Aave regarding the regulation? is going on with Aave? What a regulation. I don't recommend anything. I recommend understanding what you're doing before you do it, understanding why you do it before you do it. DJ Sith, what would cause Geist to start going back up in price, in your opinion? Critical mass, hyperdeflation, meaning it's done, meaning it can't go any lower. What would also start it going up is circulating supply locked. If you start seeing this go up 70, 80, 90%, that'll drive the price back up. That's the way it works. Card Toy, here a little late, so 2x stream to catch up. Yeah, as always, it's a good stream lately. I've been putting in over an hour lately. Crypto Bets is in the house. The champ. I really resonated with your opinion on accumulating assets that pay you. Often mentioned weekly payments. Can you walk through a quick example? Yeah, if you put money on Convex, throw a couple mil on there, you're going to get paid on the daily basis. That's the way it works. If you go here, you're getting paid every second of every day. Every second. Here, look, if you go here, you're getting paid every second of every day. $732. I hope that helps. It's really as simple as that. These assets are paying you to have them. The hard part is adjusting to the principal volatility. I went over this to Champ. I bought this for $22,000 2 days ago. It's now worth $16,500. I've only earned $732. That puts me at about $17,200, let's say. I went from $22,000 to $17,200 in 2 days. I lost money. 22 minus 17.2. I lost $4,800. Or did I? In 2 days. Who cares about 2 days? 793% yield. APR. 16,400 Geist price. Maybe Geist price keeps going down. Maybe in 6 months' time, Geist price is 80 cents. Maybe it's more. Maybe it's $1.20. Maybe it's 40 cents and the APR is still 700%. How about I lose half my money and it's down to $8,000 and Geist price is 40 cents and the APR is still 793%. Is that a good bet? Is that a good play? I wouldn't sell it in a second. I wouldn't sell it at all. It's a great play. It's a wonderful play. $8,000 at 700, 800%. What? So I bought it at 22,000 and I sell it at 8. I lost 8,000. 22,000 minus 8. Oh, so I lost $14,000. All right, I lost $14,000. 800% APR is 200,000% APY on 8,000 times. That'd be $16 million in 1 year's time. That's the way compounding works. Time. People are fearful. And frankly, I think this selling is a great opportunity. You want to wait for it till it goes lower. If just wait for it to go to 40 cents because these types of APYs change everything. APR, because turn this into an APY and it's an absolutely massive, massive number. Alexander, do you support Curve removing the whitelist? Unknown. I don't know the full implications. I guess I do. But then again, if you take it away, can you get it back? I don't know. Vasco, what do you think about using UST on Abracadabra as collateral to borrow MIM to get your 100% on stables? Yeah, go for it. I would say it's a decent position, meaning you probably want to account for about 10-15% volatility in a stablecoin price. How about that? That's obviously accounting for very extreme conditions, 10, 15, 20% in a stablecoin price, but anything's possible. I wouldn't want 100 grand to get liquidated. But if you could put 100 grand in and get 100% APY, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Stake your in spirit on Liquid Driver. I don't know what that means. I stake my in Spirit on Spirit. So in Spirit, you go to the in Spirit page, in Spirit, and that's where I lock my Spirit. 4-year lock. I did a 4-year lock on Spirit. Does Geist get bought through using L2 versus L1 saying USDC? Sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's USDC liquidity on Phantom. Where did I buy Geist? On Spooky Swap. Spooky? Yeah. Spooky Swap has the Geist. Spooky Swap has the Geist. Go over to here, go over to Swap. Geist. Et voila. And let's see USDC. Yeah, it looks like there's USDC. Hey, good slippage. 0.26%. Well, there's your answer, Crypt Guy. USDC has good liquidity on Phantom. Crypto Buzz, no, I sold the JPEG for 50x my initial sitting on USDC. Abracadabra 3-pool deposit and put it in the curve. Subjective opinion, my friend. Subjective opinion. What's up, champ? Hey, Rupert, how are you? It's a pleasure. DJ Slith, I'm into a lot of degenerate crypto YouTubers, so your takeaways are refreshing. Yeah, I can imagine they're a little bit different. Am I the anti-degenerate? Albeit I am talking about 200,000% APY. So what the fuck? I mean, I'm literally showing you guys 200,000% APY on Geist and 180, 90,000% APY on Aave Ethereum mainnet. So maybe it's just the presentation. It's not the degeneracy. Because I don't even think that's degenerate. I think this makes perfect sense. This is like, yeah, that's the APY. Someone's paying you that because they make more. It makes perfect sense. This is literally not a degenerate APY. A degenerate APY is if they double or triple it. And then you might not have 100% utilization. Crypto Bats, do you speak Spanish? I hear that accent. Hablo que necesito. Si tengo hambre, yo puedo comer. Yo voy a buscar a alguien donde necesito ir a comer, okay? My Dominican wife helps me out the best she can. She tries to help this gringo and make him a little bit better. Um, the champ meant, how do you take the money out weekly without touching the underlying asset? Well, I don't take it out weekly. This is the bank. Do you think the wealthy keep money in a Wells Fargo account? No. You take money out when you need it, and to take money out, all you have to do is swap it for GUSD, and you send it over to Gemini, or swap it for USDC, and send it over to Coinbase, or you open up a crypto.com app, and you get a card. I don't know where my card is. It's in my wallet somewhere. But they offer a crypto debit card, and there's a couple of them. Frankly, I prefer the BlockFi credit card. BlockFi credit card. I like this thing. Oh, I like. Oh, all right. Yeah, they're getting a lot of regulatory heat. Whatever. I can't even load it at the moment, but it is what it is. I think their credit card's regulatory compliant. It's just a damn credit card. Nife, thoughts on MKR? I know it's out of favor and has been getting crushed versus Ethereum, but generating 100 mil a year at 3 better fees than Spell and DAI growing massively. Is it better fees? Let's go over to here. So Spell has pulled back. Spell is now 63% of Maker's market cap. Spell is pulling in about one half the fees as Maker. Spell is pulling in half the fees as Maker at a fraction of the market cap. I don't know. Only you could decide. I don't really have much of a high opinion of what Maker's doing at the moment. The champ, you are awesome, by the way. Found you through Taiki, and I'm binge watching your video vault. It's a heck of a video vault at this time. Yeah, I've done so many damn videos. Woo! A lot of videos. DJ Sliff, do you know of any tools that let you calculate your returns on an asset where you can actually adjust the price of the asset and the APR over time based on what you estimate them to be? Not off the top of my head. I don't use any tools for that, my friend. EA, Firebird gets better swap rates most of the time. Interesting. Always something new. Ninja Sauce, the passive incumer. Maximum incumage in the house. Yeah, I'm the incumer of incumers. I know a couple of other ones that are pretty good. Maybe they learned from the best, but they're good, and they've done better than me. That's something to be proud about. However, I took less risk, and some took more, and that's okay. I'm proud of a couple of people, some people that I met in the crypto space. I don't talk to them maybe as much as I could or should, but I have a high opinion of a lot of folks and their paths and their journey and how they got to where they are. I have some good opinions of a couple of folks. It's not easy. Life isn't easy. So I might not know them maybe as best as I could or should, but I'm proud of them. They've done well. That's a good thing, and that's not easy in this world. Ryan, hey guys, Ryan in the house. Just a pleasure. Just joining up. It's a pleasure. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hablas muy bien. Yeah, gracias. Yeah. Uh, Mi esposa piensa hablo gringo, pero está bien. Hablo mejor, tan entiendo, tan escucho, pero está bien. Carlos, Tether keeps printing funny money. Tether doesn't print any funny money. People provide collateral, and Tether prints based on collateralization. And there's a lot of shit debt out there that people are collateralizing to put to work. So it's not funny money. Ryan, Ample looking like the best bet in the crypto space. My portfolio is rather small, around 5,000. Want to put 20%? 20%? That's a lot of percent of the portfolio. Be very careful, my friend. In the end, it's your responsibility. Your choice is subjective. 20% of a portfolio, that's a very large bet. HB, hey Noah, best 60 minutes of the day. It's a pleasure. 103 people in the stream, 53 likes. We can do better. Hit those likes buttons, boys and girls. A couple of remaining questions that will wrap up the stream for today. Critical mass, are we still live? Yep, still live. I'm a little delayed. I did a massive monologue at the beginning. What, the ample 100% critical mass? Yeah, I speculate that it can hold the 100% utilization. Any thoughts on curve vote to remove convex whitelisting? I answered that a little bit earlier. I don't know how it'll play out. Bear in mind, once you take something away, can you get it back? Can you get the whitelist back? So that's a difficult answer. And governance will play out. Any thoughts on? Nope, I answered that. Just got out of work, so I'm a little late, but I made it back for another one. Dominic's in the house. It's a pleasure. Sergio, how are you? Crypto bets, yo tengo hambre. Oh, yeah. Hombre, not hombre. Yeah, yo soy hombre. Yeah, I know the difference. Um, Steve, Dímelo, Noah. All the way from Santo Domingo. I love it down there. That's where my father-in-law is from. Trying to learn to teach the people here in the island. Yeah, it's a different world. We live in a little bubble with money that makes money. What we do on this stream, most people never get to see. Wealthy operate where money makes money. Except now we have these tools, these positions, these assets that allow us to do it with not multi-million-dollar portfolios. I'm teaching most people, and they have $1,000, less than $1,000. Point being, you could do that with $1,000. If you're getting 5% a year on $1,000 on a REIT, You're not doing shit. You're waiting a year to get your money, but if you're getting your money every second of every day, can actually experience what income feels like, you can start to reorient your psychology and the way you think about capital management around the concept of cash flow. It's a self re education process. Un gringo bancano. What's a bacano? I don't know, but I like it. Raul de la Cruz. Great info. No, I'm muy bien. Thank you. Dominic started a new job with the railroad and I'm declining my 401k. Yeah, so 401ks are stupid. I've declined my 401k the last like 10 years at this point. Raul, could you repeat the quality stuff regarding Ample bought like 351 tokens for when they deploy on Banky? Woke up and had 367. It has increased by 16 tokens just by sitting in my wallet. Why so? That's called a positive rebase. That's the way the positive rebase works. I'm not going to go too in depth. I want to wrap up the stream. It's 2:09. Nice stream quantity today. Thank you all for joining. I hope it helps. I'm not going to dig again into positive rebase versus negative rebase. Why don't you remind me either tomorrow or the day after on the next stream, and I'll dig into the technicals of what's going on with Ampleforth again. I love the topic. Dominic, rather control my money instead of Fidelity playing with it. Yeah, they don't do shit for you. And banks do literally less than shit. Banks literally just take your money. Have you ever reviewed the Terra stablecoin LP Vault? Lets you leverage 13x. Watch your leverage. Be careful. Crypto bets. Mi esposa Cuban, mi gringo. I can relate. Yep. Small world, and I'm just ethnically very different than her, and I found that wonderful. That's wonderful. Barba, Giano. Cheers, Captain. A pleasure. Oh, Bacano is cool. I'm the cool white guy. Thank you, Toyo. I appreciate that. I try. Uh, Critical mass, my takeaway here. Buy, deposit, hold, retire. It's more than that. It's more than that because you can't just blind hold. You have to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it. There is a time to cut losses. There's a time to reallocate. Allocate, not rotate. As I've said, there's a big difference between being a rotator and an allocator. You want to allocate to positions and only reallocate to something else if critical thresholds have been breached, such as narrative validation or invalidation. You don't want to rotate just because you're going to outperform or you're going to get more capital gains with something else, because every time you rotate, you're going to experience capital gains exposure, and you're just going to do yourself financial harm, in my opinion. Capital gains is a result of fear. Income and cash flow is a result of conviction. That's a good one. I think I did that this morning or yesterday. Dirty Sanchez, pleasure. Raul will do. Magnus, thank you for the stream. I hope I help, my friend. Thank you. Sonny, what's up? How are you? We can do better. You know the deal. It's a pleasure, Sonny. I hope everything's okay. Dominic, my boss looked at me crazy when I said, screw the 401k. I'll just do it my way and earn 30% of my money. My man, you tell your boss. That's the deal. 30%. That's easy. I mean, pick almost anything on Convex. You get 30% of the money. Let's load this up. Show more coins. I mean, come on. I wouldn't necessarily. Why is the. I would deploy probably to like MIM, UST. There's Frax. Why is it loading NAN? It's because Ethereum's not connected. Fine. Cancel. Ethereum. Refresh. Zach does not want to remove Convex from the whitelist. Yeah, I probably think that's prudent. Look, again, 65% on CVXCRV. Look at these numbers. MIM's cranking out 58% of the money. Dominic, stablecoin's cranking out twice the 30% you said. These fuckers will jam you in a 401k and you'll be screwed, getting 5%, which isn't even a positive real yield considering CPI. And CPI doesn't do shit. Oh, you get a 6% in your money. is probably 15%. I know plenty of things out there that cost way more than 6% more money, which is the inflation that they say is out there. So you got me riled up at the end of the stream, Dominic. Folks able to get 40% on their money. What else? MIM, 23%. Frax, 25%. Ha! 401k. These are dollar stable coins, boys and girls. The champ, you have a good one. Zach, John, thank you from another stream, Captain. A pleasure. Wish everyone a wonderful day. Wednesday, November 10th, 2:13 p.m. Thank you all for joining. Tell everyone to subscribe. After party on Discord. Ask Vid has been good. I've been helping out as best I can. I have no active questions. I'll pop this in the stream. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to help. Sometimes I make them public. Most of the times I try and keep them private for subscribers only. But if you have anything on your mind, I'm happy to get to it as soon as I can. I wish everyone a wonderful day, and I will see you again either tomorrow or Friday. I might take Veterans Day off. I might see you again Monday. But in any case, I'll be on Discord. See you then.